Oh yeah, definitely not ready for this.
Not a chance.
Well, we're about to participate in the toughest challenge.
You know what they say about best laid plans?
There's no alcohol in here.
There can only be one master distiller.
Master Distiller, tonight 9:30 on Discovery.
Fresh meat! Fresh meat! There are 7 volunteers that are ready to go inside and report back problems that they find, if they last.
There's no cells. You right up on top of somebody.
You never know when someone's just gonna snap. It's terrifying.
The last thing I need right now is to get killed in the shower.
I'm here with a purpose. I don't want to die in here.
And on the outside, oh, that's Lebu! Where's the Lebu's got support? We're going to score. It's a gift. And New Zealand have been handed 7 points. And a charge through from
They come back to this left-hand side.
Alan Beard, the Lion. Neat little move. More than just a neat little move. It works sublimely.
Silly little move. Out wide it goes. Alan Sam.
The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.
Hello, this is TVWAN News. I'm Jasmine Irujak.
And I'm Tracy Pad. Join me later for sports.
In this edition, settlers evicted, Wagambi face inquiry, and Hummus to play Kiwis.
People squatting on a land portion located in the Lower Talai settlement in Badili, Port Moresby were evicted this morning. This follows a 21-day court order issued by a woman who is believed to be the landowner. According to residents, about 5 to 10 police vehicles with a bulldozer forcefully evicted them. During the eviction, police shot 3 residents who are currently undergoing medical treatment at the Port Moresby General Hospital. Meanwhile, Moresby South MP Justin Kuchenko said Talai is a state land. There has been an ongoing court battle over the land. However, they did not proceed further with the case due to the missing land documents. Assistant Commissioner of Police Anthony Wagambi Jr. testified at the Commission of Inquiry into the Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary January 10th civil unrest today in Port Moresby. The COI team led him into the discussion of disciplinary, command and control, transfer of police officers, and accommodation issues, among others.
When taking his post to testify during the Commission of Inquiry into the RPNGC January 10th civil unrest today, Assistant Commissioner of Police Anthony Wagambi Jr. was asked by the COI team to give his thoughts on discipline, command and control, transfer of police officers, promotion and accommodation issues, among others. Wagambi Jr. highlighted many issues that needed an uplift, with discipline in the force having declined over the years. He said non-commissioned officers were not performing their duties effectively, with command and control losing its integrity. Wagambi Jr. said lack of accommodation, improper office, lack of proper uniforms, and overall staff welfare are not being taken care of. These are common issues the force faces daily. Wagambi Jr. says when faced with these scenarios, police officer lacks motivation to work, resulting in them resorting to illegal activities. Wagambi Jr. recommends bringing back basic policing strategies and reminding officers that their roles and responsibilities must be enforced to promote a good image of the force. Meanwhile, Wagambi will continue to testify at the inquiry at 9:30 a.m. on Tuesday. He is expected to testify about the events leading up to the January 10th unrest. Tracy Pa, TVWAN News.
Police brutality and crooked deals are high among officers of the Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary, revealed the Director of Investigation Directorate Ben Tovili at the Commission of Inquiry into the RPNGC January 10th civil unrest.
Police brutality, absence from duty without authorization, demanding money from the public, and outside engagements are common offenses that the RPNGC Investigation Directorate receives daily. The Director of Investigation, Ben Tovili, when testifying at the Commission of Inquiry into the RPNGC January 10th civil unrest, said police officers found to commit these offenses are dealt with administratively and disciplinary based on the seriousness of the offense.
161 for this year. The conduct of the member can be a criminal or administrative. So we have to. So we close 6 investigation, meaning there's no evidence against the member, and referral oversight cases is 1. And dealing with the member criminally or administratively, we dealt with 40. Is that?
He said that based on statistics from 2019 to 2024, about 246 offenses were committed in 2019. In 2020, about 96 cases were committed. In 2021, about 195 were recorded, and in 2022, about 111. By 2023, the numbers have increased to 204, and as of 30th October 2024, about 161 were committed and recorded. Tovili said some of these offenses are left unattended due to lack of evidence, while others are referral cases. There is a possibility of having more cases due to the lack of proper database system to keep records and track cases. Tracy Pa, TVWAN News.
Prime Minister James Marape has called on parents, teachers, and community leaders to join the government in fostering a culture that values and supports education. Marape made this call when welcoming the announcement by Minister for Education Lucas Dekena on the government's policy to abolish grade 8 examinations by 2025.
With every child we empower through education, we are planting the seeds of future leaders, innovators, and change makers. They will drive the economic growth and resilience of this nation, ensuring a brighter tomorrow for all Papua New Guineans. These are the sentiments said by Prime Minister James Marape on the government's transformative policy on abolishing grade 8 examinations in 2024 going forward. He said education is the great equalizer, and the government wants every young Papua New Guinean to be empowered with knowledge, skills, and the confidence to create positive change.
So work block district of Semtari Now look at the district, now work with provincial government. Long building enough classroom, now you may partner or training enough teachers. So all gonna beginning go on grade 9, finish we're gonna go on grade 11. Now one black exam that's solo sit on grade 12. Now you may scale him. Who said go teacher, who said go mechanic, who said go carpenter, who said go lawyer, who said go businessman. You may scale him lo grade 12 that's all. And thinking he may get lo country by making of them go. And so, Minister, you keep thinking good, now you make it, now you one bill. Thank you, Lokamlo, bless Allah.
The Prime Minister pointed out that the government is not just changing policy, but changing lives, shaping the nation, and building a legacy of opportunity and hope. This is the government's promise to all young people's future. Marape also expressed for a more inclusive, educated, and prosperous Papua New Guinea, where every child has the chance to achieve their potential.
Pigini Stablo School, Mama Papa walk Lugarin Pigini. Free education, governor pay. Free education, national government pay. Now why you making one of stuff? But you less ask him is free money round on.
The government's education reform aligns with Vision 2050 and is supported by partnerships with communities, international donors, and NGOs. This collaborative approach aims to ensure that the necessary infrastructure, training, and resources are in place to accommodate all students progressing through their education journey. Freddie Mo, TVWAN News.
Ziffa Singh Junior High School in Morabe's Huon Gulf District graduated its first batch of grade 10 students on the afternoon of Friday, November the 1st. Despite a shaky junior high start, Principal Raj Pascal proudly applauded their 106 students for giving their best.
Ziffa Singh Junior High School in Morabe's Huon Gulf District was officially opened in 2021 by Prime Minister James Marape and the late Grand Chief Sir Michael Somare. 650,000 kina from the District Services Improvement Program funds were used by the former MP, Ross Seymour, to construct classrooms so Wampar LLG can have its own high school. It took 3 years to tick off the junior high school requirements, with the former primary school attaining a junior high status in late 2022.
We are very glad, and according to our motto, Sprout to Flourish, last year we had first year grade 9 students who were under 40, total of them. This school has faced a lot of challenges since it was the only building we have for this Wampar LLG, starting grade 9 and 10, before the students were going towards other parts of the area of the province.
Since the school had only started registering students in 2023, it missed out on government tuition fee subsidy. Hence, 700 kina school fees had to be collected from parents and guardians to furnish the classrooms with chairs, tables, stationery, and office equipment. This year, the Provincial Education Board approved 500 kina as the school fee, since the newly established school is yet to get its GTFS and tuition fee-free subsidy. Morabe's Provincial Administrator, Max Bruton, had presented 100,000 kina, which was used to purchase printing materials, laptops, and other equipment needed to run the school and cater to its 340 students. The contributions from parents were used to build the Deputy Head Teacher's House this year, while the school still needs more staff accommodation, a library, computer lab, and ablution facilities. Furthermore, since last year, the school had to operate without teachers' guides and students' textbooks, with Morabe Provincial Program Advisor for Education, Keith Tangui, saying that lessons had to be downloaded from the internet. Student numbers increased this year, and by November 1st, 106 pioneer grade 10 students had graduated. Morabe Governor Luther Wenge committed 400,000 kina to build a school, an ablution facility, and a library. Governor Wenge also gave 10,600 kina in cash to the principal to distribute 100 kina each to the graduates. Kamila Guare, TVWAN News, Leh.
The transformative policy aimed at ending the practice of grade 8 and 10 dropouts in Papua New Guinea is welcomed by the government. Minister for Education Lucas Dekana made this announcement in Hela recently. He assured citizens that policy aims for a promising future where every young person can complete their secondary education.
The government is embarking on phasing out the grade 8 examination by 2025. Minister for Education Lucas Dekana announced recently that there will be no more grade 8 examinations, creating opportunities for students to pass through to grade 9. He also announced that a similar policy will be implemented with the grade 10 examination by 2027, ensuring equal access to quality education for all Papua New Guineans, regardless of their background or location.
So starting next year, examination, some kama but by no dropouts law, grade 8 law next year. Law 2027, by no dropouts law grade 10. So overall beginning, by go right through to grade 12, which falls in line with the minimum education qualifications in the country and by grade 12. So you must get grade 12 certificate as a minimum qualification.
Prime Minister James Marape welcomed the announcement by Minister Dekana. Marape stressed that the government believes that education is the cornerstone of a prosperous, united and resilient Papua New Guinea. He said by eliminating grade 8 and 10 dropouts, the government is breaking down the barriers that have held back too many young people. The Prime Minister emphasized that the new approach goes hand in hand with the government's commitment to building a stronger education system, including the construction of new schools, recruitment of qualified teachers, and investment in educational resources.
Minister, we talk next year, beyond in policy block government, we will work on facing out, no but grade 8 leaver. Beyond but no got grade 10 leaver, all gonna beginning must finish in grade 12 or so. You are mamas or no got. And so work block district or Semtari, now all gonna district, now work block provincial government, long building enough classroom, now you partner lo training enough teachers, so all gonna beginning go on grade 9, finish Mogara go on grade 11, now one black exam that's all on grade 12, now you miss Kelim. Who said go teacher, who said go mechanic, who said go carpenter, who said go lawyer, who said go businessman, you miss Kelim lo grade 12 that's all.
Under the new policy, all students will have the right to progress from grade 8 through to grade 12, preparing them for tertiary education or vocational training. This change will bring an end to a system that has, in the past, left many young people with limited options for their future. Freddie Mo, TVWAN News.
This is TVWAN News. We'll have the day's other stories when we come back. Stay with us.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase easy paid units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
He says the best Hunters players come from his region. So does she. But there's one thing that brings everyone together. SB Lager, Bungim Yumi.
Open nets.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo and milk taste and added nutrients, Milo and milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, P&G and Mia. Fine P&G made.
Quick favorite meal for the day does feel good. Snacks noodles is my choice for a simple meal. It is easy to prepare and fast to cook. And with a touch of flavor and ingredients, quality noodles that can be cooked and enjoyed in many different ways. You see, my whole family loves it. It's made here in P&G and comes in different pack sizes. Snacks noodles, tastier by you like you more.
Superstition ain't the way.
Thanks for staying with us. In a female-dominant culture of cultivating plants, an interesting trend is now being developed with males exploring the floral business. In the recent P&G flower market now trading in Port Moresby, 2 men registered to market their plants and flowers.
Pint Kupul from Mount Hagen and Peter Rice from Simbu are 2 male farmers who registered in the P&G Floriculture Association this year to join in the flower market, which has been ongoing since 28 October. Peter Rice says having no formal job is not a worry because he runs his own flourishing ornamental plants business in the city.
I like more plants. Okay, me working plants that's so long growing long house, but I make growing na put me look most all money come long buy na demand long buy more plants and high. So me stop lo city na me look ma all buildings na office na all something all come now all work long buying plants long residential area na office too one time, so interest lo me long go out long marketing malls or something and me build up long making money come up, so me start long selling more now okay behind long and me join my association.
Rice started his plant business in 2014 after getting inspiration from his brother who started a plant nursery business. Pint Kupul is the director of New Guinea Orchid Farm based in Mount Hagen. He has 3 greenhouses for anthurium plants, orchids and other plants and flowers.
Triple greenhouse and making blow anthurium now, all hybrid orchids. Okay, me set him another place and blow local orchid to me. Na collection blow me more some 300 species. Me section the growing long up area blow me. Go through long floriculture business now. Or we make him now, me growing more side lo anthurium legisla. We say make him cut flowers. Because sublime go online, we say to sublime go on, we say sublime go on. Now another side lo tourist site and we say growing more than orchid blow now. Okay, me growing now. Okay, also come now. Also buy all also buy because also come visit us all now. Look around and we charge more long. So feel one man.
P&G FA flower market continues until the 9th of November. Anyone looking for jobs can join the P&G FA to start a full-time business. Joanna Pile, TV1 News.
New desks and chairs were delivered to the Tubuseria Primary School in Central Province recently for a lower primary students. The grant is under Kina Bank's Strong in Community Grants program, dedicated to supporting local communities through various community programs focused on education, health, water and sanitation, environmental protection, women's empowerment, among others. Senior International Operations Officer for Kina Bank, Susanna Guru, applied SKG program exclusively for Kina Bank staff and was one of the successful grant recipients. Apart from the desks, the bank also donated school stationaries as part of the community initiative. Over decades, the Divine Word University Chapel in Medang has been a sanctuary for students and the surrounding communities for spiritual uplifting. In well over a few months, Catholic faithful who used the St. Fernandemet's Chapel resorted to having Eucharistic liturgies and devotions at the John Paul Hall. Yesterday was significant as a dedication mass was held inside the renovated and extended chapel. The main celebrant of the Mass, Most Reverend Douglas Young, drove down from Mount Hagen to commemorate the day by unlocking the doors for Mass to begin. Consecrating of the chapel and the new altar was performed, first with holy water sprinkled within and the oiled crosses around the walls of the chapel, and then with incense. During the homily, Most Reverend Douglas Young told the congregation that they should be grateful for the nice structure upgrade. He also added the fact that it is the heart of the institution and it symbolizes the identity of the school, staff, and students. That goes to show how the institution embodies itself spiritually and academically.
It is at the heart of the university in more ways than one. This is the physical heart, physical center, as our designers and planners always had in mind. But it is also the spiritual, and maybe I would even say the intellectual center. The chapel in the university plays a very, very significant role. It is a constant reminder, I'd say especially in a Catholic university, of the harmony, probably a kind of a celebratory harmony, a joyful and dynamic harmony between faith and knowledge.
He also encouraged them to distinguish between science and religion and how these two powerful principles can be meaningfully applied to life itself.
Because in our Catholic tradition, these two things are in a dynamic relationship. The more we grow in faith, the more we love knowledge and desire to know more about this Creator God. The more that we grow in knowledge, the more humble we are before the Creator of the universe, having more wonder and more love.
President of DWU, Professor Father Philip Gibbs, stated that he was happy to finally return home after the renovations.
It's the heart of TVWAN University, and somehow we were away from the heart. And today we've come back, and I feel extremely grateful. Especially grateful to all who have contributed, including the alumni.
Those who supported and contributed towards the chapel's renovation were thanked, especially the Department of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, the POM DWU Alumni Association, and other individuals. One of the invited guests was Leah Magis, Deputy Secretary of Research and Innovation for DHEST and alumni. Magis was grateful to be part of the celebration in the institution, which gave so much during her studies. She acknowledged the pastoral care team for their contribution to the university family. Chaplain Father Vincent Agbiyomi Akpa gave a financial rundown of how much money was received and spent on the refurbishment of the congregation. However, Father Vincent states that there is still some outstanding work that needs to be done and hopes that the congregation and stakeholders can continue to support it. The Divine Word University is a reputable institution in the country that has contributed immensely to the country's development and human resources sector. DWU has always managed to educate students and scholars alike with integral human development academically and spiritually through religion and ethics studies. ANZ yesterday announced the appointment of Florida Rita as head of transaction banking in Papua New Guinea. Rita has a strong track record managing some of ANZ's largest institutional clients and has contributed to the growth and success of ANZ's transaction banking business in PNG. Rita is the first local female to be appointed to the role and will join the Australian core payments and cash management leadership team led by Habib Ajaka. Rita replaces Marianne Copeland, who has moved into the new role of Head of Business Execution, ANZ PNG. And now the finance news. The kina closed lower at 0.2532 US dollars in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our kina was buying 0.2457 US dollars, 0.3701 Australian dollars, 0.2182 euro, and 37.15 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, oil closed higher, except gold and coffee closed lower. And copper closed the day unchanged. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, ASX closed higher, and all ordinaries closed higher as well. You're watching TV1 News. Stay tuned. We'll have news making headlines overseas when we come back.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase easy pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
Hiya, Mama. You wait time, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Magic Kakaro, get up and big smile on face. Time for kimchi and a great fumu too. Sip, sip, the mumu, yes, magic on you.
Maggi, the taste P&G loves.
Enjoy life when we work together, making happy memories that last forever. Harem, cook, young, or roll a scale rice family meal with talk. Will bring out the smiles, cause it's a favorite by miles. Seni sigola, scale rice, low scale price. Seni sigola, scale rice, low scale price. But you like him?
Bro, it's awesome, man.
Pepsi promotion.
I'm so excited. Let's go, let's go.
And Pepsi for Matt.
Pepsi for Matt.
And how do you win this? 2 plus Pepsi, that's all.
2 cans, bro. 2 plus, that's all.
You get yourself a chance to win.
This box of Matt.
It's crazy cool. My God. Pair of headphones. It's a towel.
How about that? Pull box. Yeah!
In its first 10 years, the PNG LNG project has had a long-lasting impact, contributing more than 26 billion kina to the state of Papua New Guinea. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levy and royalties are paid to DPE. For more information on direct and indirect benefits, visit PNG EITI's website.
Welcome back. Australia and Indonesia will this week begin their first joint military activity since signing a new defense cooperation agreement in August. The exercise is taking place in Indonesia as part of a wider Indo-Pacific operation, with troops from both countries leaving this weekend from Darwin.
On the path to a closer relationship, Indonesian troops in Darwin on Australia's largest warship. The two countries exchanging patches ahead of exercise Keris Woomera in Indonesia, involving a contingent of more than 2,000.
This will be Australia's largest bilateral activity with Indonesia in recent history. So it's very significant.
We stay in the same region, so this is important for Indonesia and Australia also.
Inside HMAS Adelaide, expensive cargo to be used on land, in the air and at sea, with plans for live fire exercises.
From the terms of interoperability, live fire is the hardest it gets, and it's a true indication of where we currently sit with our relationship with the TNI.
The operation forming part of the larger Indo-Pacific endeavour involving 13 other countries keen to maintain security in the region.
This major exercise is one of those activities where we work with our partners to develop that secure and prosperous region.
Around 1,100 ADF personnel will depart from Darwin on HMAS Adelaide. They'll be joined by 35 Indonesian troops for the trip to Indonesia, where the exercise will begin. The next step in a growing partnership between neighbours.
Thunderstorm asthma is a potentially deadly event triggered by a unique mix of grass pollen and certain weather conditions. Back in 2016, Melbourne experienced the world's largest epidemic thunderstorm asthma event, killing 10, while thousands of others experienced breathing difficulties.
Thunderstorm asthma is a potentially deadly event triggered by a unique mix of grass pollen and certain weather conditions. Back in 2016, Melbourne experienced the world's largest epidemic thunderstorm asthma event, killing 10, while thousands of others endured significant breathing difficulties.
We have learnt a lot of lessons since then, and importantly, I want to assure all Victorians that both our ambulance and hospital services are well placed to respond to any spike in demand that we might see should we have a thunderstorm asthma event.
So what exactly brings on these events? Experts say it's mostly linked to ryegrass, which is a type of grass found in pasture land right across the state. When the grass pollen is high and there are storms, the chances of a thunderstorm asthma event increases.
Typically for Victoria, this is a line of thunderstorms or a sharp cool change that comes through that can lift those pollen particles up and then break them down into smaller particles that can then get down deep into the lungs.
Symptoms can include shortness of breath, chest tightness, wheezing or persistent coughing. Those most at risk are people who are asthmatic or prone to hay fever, but also people who are underprepared.
It is important that no matter where you are, that you're always taking precautions. Make sure you see that GP, update your asthma action plan, and keep an eye on those forecasts.
On days of high risk, it's really important that those people who are most at risk stay indoors. That's the safest way to make sure that you can decrease the risk of a thunderstorm asthma event.
There is a 3-day rolling forecast on the Vic Emergency app or website, which shows the level of risk in each district. It ranges from green, which means the risk is low, to red, which indicates a high risk. While thunderstorm asthma events are quite rare, there are a few high-risk days each season between October to the end of December.
The 2024 U.S. presidential election will take place on Tuesday, November the 5th, as voters decide on the next U.S. president. Donald Trump and Kamala Harris are pushing their closing messages to voters on their last day of campaigning before America decides its next president. Both candidates are in a final sprint across key battleground states, with Harris to campaign in Pennsylvania today and Trump heading to North Carolina, Pennsylvania and Michigan. Australians burdened with student debt will have 20% of their loans wiped as part of Labor's pre-election pitch aimed at easing costs of living pressures for young people. It's part of a $500 million package, which the coalition is labelling as cash splash in place of real reform.
It's beginning to look a lot like an election campaign. Big energy and big promises. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese addressing the party faithful in Adelaide with a US-style stump speech.
We're so determined to win the election next year.
Vowing to expand and legislate access to fee-free TAFE for Australians and wipe billions of dollars in unpaid student loans if returned to power.
A re-elected Labor government will take 20% off student debt for everyone who has one.
Under the pitch, a university graduate with the average debt of about $27,000 would see more than $5,000 wiped from their outstanding loan. It builds on yesterday's promise to lift the income threshold from when people have to start paying off their debt from $54,000 to $67,000. All up, the government's promising to cut close to $20 billion in student loan debt for more than 3 million Australians.
I think that's great to hear. It's certainly not enough. I probably would go back if I knew that they were going to do that.
The move will cost the budget $500 million, but the government argues it will address intergenerational inequity without driving up inflation. After a turbulent week with claims the Prime Minister received free flight upgrades from Qantas, the government wants to regain control of the agenda, using this announcement to try to shift the focus back to cost of living issues. But that's proving difficult. With revelations, the Education Minister solicited and received the flight benefit in 2019. Politicians touching down in Canberra ahead of Parliament's return.
Just looking forward to a good week. Labor's focused on building Australia's future.
Presumably, flying economy.
This is TV1 News. Sports is next with Tracy. Stay with us.
Rugby league is a powerful force that unites Papua New Guinea and develops our youth. Through partnerships with the PNG LNG Kumals, Grassroots Rugby League and Justin Olam, we aim to instill skills to last a lifetime. When we invest in people, we invest in tomorrow's possibilities.
Kumul Petroleum is a major regional petroleum industry player involved in large-scale upstream, midstream and downstream petroleum and energy developments in the country. We are committed to ensuring that Papua New Guineans maximize benefits from the petroleum and energy sector.
Very well forward left hand side. That's beautifully playing. The flag stays down, and Courtois is there again. Murmurs of shoot. Teased in there by Savinio, and Haaland's first sight of goal of the night. Here's Vince going for goal and finding the corner.
Welcome back. In an impressive first showing at the prestigious Pan Pacific Masters Games, the Port Moresby Corporate Volleyball Competition Masters team made waves with a stellar performance, bringing home multiple medals across the division. Competing in the 2024 event with 3 teams, the POM CVC athletes showcase skills, resilience and team spirit, capturing silver and bronze medals in various categories. The POM CVC women's 40-plus team clinched the silver medal after an exceptional run. The women's 35-plus team matched the feat with a silver of their own, affirming POM CVC's strength and depth in women's volleyball. Not to be outdone, the POM CVC mixed team scored a bronze medal, capping off a successful debut at the Games. The Games provided a unique platform for them to connect with athletes from around the world, gain invaluable experience, and foster new friendships. After the strong wind on home turf yesterday at the National Football Stadium in Port Moresby, the PNG Comals have locked in a challenge against a tough New Zealand Kiwis in the promotion relegation match on November 10th at the Comeback Stadium in Australia. PNG Comals have a likely chance of playing for the Pacific Cup in 2025, but must beat the Kiwis this weekend.
The Comals put a masterclass in Port Moresby to claim a comprehensive 42-20 win over visiting Cook Highlands I2 yesterday. They took off from a slow start but finished strongly dominating the second half, backed by the chanting faithful fans. The Comals head coach Jason Dimitriou gave credit to the players for owning the pitch, despite the slow start. He was also happy that his side retained the Pacific Bowl title and earned a ticket for a promotion relegation match against New Zealand Kiwis this weekend. Dimitriou conceded that the New Zealand Kiwis are one of the benchmark teams besides Australia and England, and it will be a good game for the boys. The challenge presents another opportunity for PNG Comals boys to play against a top team.
Yeah, it feels awesome. Obviously, come in and it's a tough competition because you need to win both games, otherwise you're out the back door. And this year, everybody knew what was up for grabs if we get through, and an opportunity. I've said that all along, for us to improve as a nation. We need to have opportunities to play against the top tier teams, and we get an opportunity to do that next week. So yeah, really happy.
Lachlan Lamb, captaining the PNG Comals for the first time, had a strong game. He scored the third try for the Comals and led the team across the park, with Kyle Labert in the playmaking department. Commenting on the game against Kiwis, Lamb said it is special for the PNG Comals to play against the Kiwis because they never get that much chance to play against them. It will be the first time Lamb and the team take on the might of the Kiwis. A tough test awaits them. Meantime, Matema Atonga meets Australia Kangaroos in the Pacific Cup final. In the women's division, Kiwi fans take on Belarus for the Cup playoff, and Fetu Samoa play PNG Orchids for the promotion relegation match. Rex Lita, TV1 Sports.
It was a tough match for PNG Orchids on home turf against New Zealand Kiwis first when they held scoreless for the second match of the Pacific Championship. Orchids head coach Tanya Norris remains positive despite the scoreboard and the online trolls targeting the players. She considered none of those will affect the team as they prepare for the promotion relegation match this weekend. Hekari United proved too strong for first-timers Gulf Komara FC in the Premier Soccer League Grand Final on Saturday at the PNG Football Stadium in Port Moresby. Hekari United claimed a 2-1 victory in a close contest. Hekari again proved they are a benchmark team in the country. Komara FC's relentless efforts to reach the grand final is a milestone. The New South Wales government says having Sydney on the host city roster for international marathon races will be a tourism bonanza. Sydney will join New York, Boston, Chicago, London, Berlin and Tokyo in March next year as one of the marathon majors.
It's seventh heaven for Sydney, joining rare air as one of the next major marathons. The World Major Marathon program already features 3 events in the United States, another race in the United Kingdom, one in Germany and one in Japan. But this is the very first to take place in the Southern Hemisphere, and it will do so in August 2025. It comes after a concerted lobbying effort from both race directors and leadership of the Sydney Marathon, as well as the New South Wales government, who believe the advent of runners, not just locally but also internationally, will be a major economic boon.
The economic impact on the city is fantastic, $300 million over a decade. But you can just imagine the number of people that see Sydney on television or attend the city as a spectator or a participant who want to bring their family and friends in the years ahead. I think the multiplier on that is much, much bigger, and we'll be able to see the tourism benefits of being one of the majors in the years ahead.
As major status has been conferred onto Sydney, some things about the race will change. Among them, how to actually enter the race. Already 25,000 people ran in this year's Sydney Marathon, a record number across Australia. Next year, they're expecting more runners, about 35,000. Typically, it was first come, first serve. However, now we're expecting to see a different form take place. That's in part to the sheer demand that competition organisers are expecting. Essentially, most amateur runners will have to enter a ballot where people will be randomly selected as to whether or not they're able to race. There will be some spots marked for elite runners who compete in the major marathons for championship glory, as well as other places allocated to those raising funds for charity, as well as tourism companies built entirely around running. Simon Bryan from the Sydney Marathon says all of this shows just how significant an event the Sydney Marathon will become now that it's achieved majors status.
For the running community of Australia and obviously Sydney, it's massive. I mean, the World Majors is the pinnacle of running, as I mentioned before. So to see Sydney become part of that global stage is incredible. So we will see an uplift in running. The boom of running will continue, no doubt, and we hope to jump on the back of that as well.
The success and explosion of popularity of not just marathon running coincides with a marked shift in the type of people running. There are now a lot more young people participating in the sport, according to those familiar with the data, particularly Generation Z, or Zoomers, who have become part of running clubs right across Australia, from big cities to small towns. These prolific clubs are in part credited with growing the sport, and indeed the knock-on effects are felt at the most significant events, such as the Sydney Marathon.
That's it for sports, and now the weather forecast with Jasmine.
Southern, Port Moresby partly cloudy with possible showers, drizzle. Alotau cloudy with occasional rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Popondetta few showers and possible thunderstorms. Momase, Lake partly cloudy with possible brief showers. Madang partly cloudy with chances of brief showers, drizzle. New Guinea Islands, Lorengau partly cloudy with rain showers, drizzles. Kavieng partly cloudy with a shower or two. And Kimber partly cloudy with rain showers, drizzles in the night. Highlands, Mount Hagen partly cloudy with evening rain showers and thunderstorms. Mendi, Tari and Wabeg rain showers and possible thunderstorms. And that ends TV1 News. Thanks for watching. Bye now.
The TV1 News was proudly brought to you by BSP, our bank, our people.